Hey y'all, this video is sponsored by Ana Luisa. I was so excited when Ana Luisa reached out to work with me because my best friend raves about their jewelry. They were kind enough to send me 5 pieces. I got 4 necklaces and a bracelet, and I'm very excited to show you those, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the company first. They offer high quality pieces that are affordable, ranging from $39 to more high-end pieces. And the best part is that they are carbon neutral, meaning from packaging to product, they are good for the environment. Their designs are unique and they're meant to make you feel elegant and beautiful, and I absolutely love everything that they sent me. If you want to check out Ana Luisa, you can get up to 40% off if you use my code in the description. And now I'm going to show you what they sent me because I'm super excited. I'm actually wearing my favorite piece right now. It's like a little flower, a little opal flower. I'm going to put a picture right here. I'm going to show you, but I'm going to put better pictures over here so you can see them. So this is the one I'm wearing right now. I'm super excited. When I saw this one on the website, I fell in love with it. It's something that I can see myself wearing every single day. And I get a lot of questions about my jewelry. Whenever I have like little chokers, little dainty necklaces on, I get a lot of questions about my jewelry. And these are all pieces that I can see myself wearing every single day, like for the rest of my life. And these are the kinds of necklaces that I typically wear. And so when you guys ask me where I get them, from now on, I'm gonna tell you it's Ana Luisa. This is the second piece I got. This is like, this one is so beautiful to me. This is like a special occasion type necklace, and I'm gonna put a picture. I'm gonna put all the pictures over here. I took nice little photos for you guys. This one I can see myself wearing on a special occasion. It's just, seriously, I have no words to describe it but beautiful. When it comes to necklaces, I'm a very simple person. I like them to be simple, I like them to be dainty, and I saw this and I was like, that is like the most me necklace I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm gonna put a picture, I'm gonna put a better picture. I know you can't really see it when I hold it like this. I'm gonna put a better picture. It's so simple in the best way possible. Now these two, okay, I also wanted to show you the packaging really quickly because this is the packaging that is good for the environment. And it's so cute, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep my jewelry in these. It's such a great place to store your jewelry. And so the necklaces came in this blue one, and the bracelet came in this little orange one. It's so cute. So the bracelet's gonna be a little bit harder to show you, but you can see the picture over here. So I got this bracelet and necklace that match each other. They're both little butterflies. I am obsessed with butterflies. I feel like everyone is obsessed with butterflies right now, but I'm really obsessed with them. And so I got these two as like a little duo because I thought it would be so cute to wear together. Like I said a million times, I love the simplicity of these necklaces that I got, but their website has so many others to choose from. I'm probably not gonna take this one off until I die, because I'm in love with this one. It's so pretty. So again, if you want to check out Ana Luisa, you can get up to 40% off. I will have my code in the description. And I think it's also so amazing that their products and their packaging is good for the environment. I think that's so important, especially now. But now we're gonna hop right into the video because I am back and I have more of your Let's Not Meet stories that I'm really scared to read today. I'm not mentally prepared for this one. Timo is right underneath my tripod, which means he's probably gonna move the camera around or he's gonna get in my business. So if he does anything, if the camera moves, whatever, if you hear noise, it's my cat. But this first story says, to the creepy guy with a burner phone outside my job, let's not meet again. They also asked to be anonymous, so I'm not going to include their link in the description. So if you're looking for this story, I'm just gonna read the whole thing here. You don't need to find it. I'm not going to include it in the description. They said, hi Courtney, I just want to start off with the fact that I love your videos and I'm excited but anxious to share my experience on here. So to start this off, this happened around July of 2020. I was 17 and working at a fast food restaurant. I was always working opening shift where my manager would often leave to go grab files from home, leaving me to work all by myself until the rest of the morning coworkers arrived. Yeah, kinda shitty, but working there, I got used to it. Anyways, so I worked my regular 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. shift. 5 a.m. to, okay, I think you meant 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. I hope. Always being in charge of taking out the early morning garbage and doing a yard cleanup. If you don't know what that is, basically you take an ugly broom outside and sweep around the perimeter of the restaurant to ensure it's clean. Around 7 a.m. while the sun was coming up, my manager asked me to go outside and do a yard cleanup. Even though it was summer, it was still too cold at that time, but I reluctantly agreed. I headed outside and began doing my cleanup when I saw this man, who looked to be in his mid-20s, standing at the front of the restaurant. Being in the middle of a pandemic, I didn't find this weird, as I already worked in a kind of unsafe area where a lot of people just roam around the restaurant. Ignoring him, I continued doing my cleanup when I caught him staring at me. William, stop playing with the box! I played dumb and acted like I didn't even care enough to notice him. I was wearing a drive-through headset which would connect me to the coworkers inside if anything were to happen. I kept doing my cleanup when I noticed that the creepy guy pulled out a regular iPhone and began texting. I didn't think much of it until I saw him pull out another phone, specifically a flip phone, and began to rapidly make a call. As he was doing this, he began to look around back and forth as if he was waiting for someone to come. My headset then turned on when my coworker, let's call her A, said, "You should come inside. There's a guy outside and he looks creepy." I started to walk around the restaurant to get to the back door when I heard footsteps behind me. Not even turning around, I already knew it was this guy. I turned on my headset and frantically said, "Everyone, please come quickly, open the door, I'm being followed." I thought I had said it quiet enough until this man began to run. Yes, started to fucking run and had a metal cart with him. My adrenaline kicked in as I began to sprint to the back door when I saw a white van pull into the lot, curving around the corner. My coworkers went crazy and came dashing to the door with brooms. I'm guessing they were planning on beating the guy up or something. I don't even know. Anyways, I reached the back door and I kid you the fuck not, this guy says, "You got lucky today, you bitch," and ran off. My coworker A immediately ran to my manager's office as I was pretty shaken up. Shout out to her because she was the only one who seemed to be concerned at the time. She tells my manager what happened and he shrugged it off saying it wouldn't happen again. Oh my god. The next day I decided not to show up to work and I told my manager I did not feel safe working there as I almost got kidnapped, and in his words he said, "If you're quitting, just say it." So I quit. A week later I got news that the area I was working at was spiraling with potential sex trafficking cases. Long story short, big fuck you to my ex-manager and to the creepy guy with 2 phones who wanted to kidnap me. Let's never meet again. Wait, I can't believe there wasn't more of a reaction. I actually can't believe that. Like, if somebody were to have told me that, like when I worked at Victoria's Secret, I was a manager. If one of my girls were to come inside and tell me that something like that happened, I would have called the cops. I would have like never let them go outside by themselves ever again. I would have like I would have had the buddy system in place. Like I would have taken so many precautions. It's crazy that they did not give a shit. Also, I'm sweating really bad right now. So if you see armpit stains and you make fun of me, I'm a human and I sweat and it's kind of hot right now and I'm sweating. And I'm wearing brown, so you're gonna see it. I'm a human being. Okay, I'm not perfect, I sweat. This next story says, to the guy that I dated in Florida, let's not meet again. Trigger warning for suicide. Nothing happens, like nothing actually happens. It's like a threat of, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Hey, I'm a longtime watcher, but this is my first time posting. I have tons of paranormal stories, but I thought I would share this let's not meet because of how young and naive I was. My hope that another young girl sees this and doesn't make the same mistake. Also, sorry the story is long. So, I'm currently 21, but the story takes place the summer before my freshman year of high school when I was 14. I lived in Texas. My parents had been divorced for a while by this point, and my dad had just moved to Florida. The town my dad lived in was like an hour south of Orlando on a lake. It was a super small town with literally just one country store. At this time, I was battling some really bad depression, so for the first half of my trip to Florida to visit my dad, I slept most days, and I didn't do much. One of the days I was just hanging out at my dad's place, I saw some teens and I really wanted to meet them because I hadn't seen anyone my age in this town. My dad lives in an 18 and up community. A few days later I saw them again fishing on the dock and I made my move. I introduced myself to the group. One guy stuck out to me. His name was Paul and he was 17. He looked like the usual bad boy type. The girl in the group was Shay and we became instant friends. I found out that Paul was living with her for the summer and that he lives a couple towns over. I started crushing on Paul pretty hard. And I started hanging out with him, Shy, and a few others literally every day. Eventually, Paul asked me to be his girlfriend, which I was so happy because I liked him so much. At that age, I didn't realize it was gross for him to be dating me because he was 17 and I was 14. Trigger warning for non-consensual sex. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna read. I don't know if I'm gonna read all of this. I don't think I read this part. One night, I spent the night at Shy's house, and of course, Paul was there too. Nothing crazy happened until the morning. I was in bed with Shy and Paul had woken me up and was barely coherent. He was laying next to me. I'm in the middle between him and Shy. I think I've been saying Shy and Shay, I don't know. So we're just gonna pretend it's all the same person. Shy was still asleep and Paul said, "Good morning." I said it back and then he started kissing me. One thing led to another and before I knew it, he was literally taking my virginity. I won't go into detail, okay good, because I was not gonna read it if it went into detail. But I really didn't know what was happening until we were in the middle of it. After that, I felt weird all day, but in my head I was like, I guess that's what sex is like. I have to say really quickly that I'm very sorry that happened to you. I genuinely cannot imagine, and I'm very proud of you for being able to share this story with us because I feel like when you're at a point where you're able to share your story, it's a good sign that you're healing from something that happened to you, and so that makes me feel better. But I'm very proud of you for being able to share your story with us. That day we hung out with all of our friends, and that night I went home. Side note, we had a friend named Bo and he was dating Shy's cousin, Kenzie. The next day I was at Shy's house with Bo, Paul, Shy, and her cousin. Bo and I stepped away and he told me that last night he saw Paul and Kenzie having sex. I was shocked and really upset, but I've been a very confrontational person from a young age, so that's what I did. I took Paul into the bedroom and told him, "I know you cheated on me with Kenzie and we're done. I'm breaking up with you." This is where it got scary. Suicide warning. He pulled out his pocket knife and stuck it to his arm and said, "If you break up with me, I will right here in front of you. I froze, and as someone that was going through depression, I didn't want him to do that. I took what I said back, and I guess Bo had done the same with Kenzie because later that night she freaked out and said she would jump off the pier in alligator-infested water and because he tried to break up with her. The cops were called and she was fine, but to be honest, that whole day traumatized me. At the end of my summer in Florida, I said bye to Paul and everyone and went back to Texas. Still dating him at this point. When I got home, I knew I could break up with him now because he wouldn't be able to guilt trip me. Before I did though, he got a tattoo of the day we met and told me he was going to move to Texas so we could get married and move in together. A week later, I broke up with him over FaceTime. I saw him maybe once or twice when I went back to Florida to see my dad, but nothing ever happened. I think he has a kid now. So to the guy that took advantage of me and cheated on me and threatened to, because I wanted to break up with you, I hope we never meet again. P.S. I'm engaged now to a great guy and I'm healed from that whole experience. Thank you for reading. Okay, that's very comforting. That's very comforting because I was just talking about the fact that like I hope you're healed from all of this, like healed enough to be able to share the story with us. And I actually didn't see that like before I read the story. I didn't read the P.S. yet. But it makes me really happy that you're with a good guy and you're not dealing with that bullshit anymore because you don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. Okay, and this is the last story I'm gonna read. It says, Dad's psycho ex-girlfriend tried to break into our house and kidnap my brother. I didn't even like begin reading this one because I was like, just by the title, I know this is gonna be crazy. So some details before we get into the story. My name is Ellie. I use they/she pronouns, and I'm 20 now. My parents got divorced when I was around 5, and my dad had moved out a bit before that. When I was 11, I decided to stop seeing my dad altogether, but my brother, he's 2 years younger than me, continued seeing him. Also, my mom works night shifts, so she's home during the day. Also, sorry this was like 6 years ago, so I'm gonna say around and I think a lot. This took place when I was in 8th grade, so when I was around 14 and my brother was 12. My dad had dated this girl on and off for a while, and I think they had finally broken up this time. She was mentally unstable and we're pretty sure she was heavily using drugs. She was pretty unnerving in general. So one day, me and my siblings were all at school, and in the middle of the day, my mom hears a car pull into our driveway, which is weird because we lived in the middle of nowhere and we have a pretty long driveway. So my mom was a little on edge, but assumed it was a delivery driver or something, until she hears someone get out of the car while it was blaring music. Suddenly, there was a woman at the front door rattling the handle, ringing the doorbell, and knocking incessantly. Is that how you say that word, incessantly? I don't think I've ever used that word in my entire life. My mom was really confused and asked why she was there. The crazy lady just kept saying, "Where's Holden? I need to take him. I need to keep him safe," and other insane nonsense. This went on for close to a half an hour, and my mom had no clue how to get her to leave. I don't remember what happened, but I think she finally just gave up and left. When we got home, she told us what happened, and based off the description, we came to the conclusion that it must have been our dad's ex-girlfriend. She then ended up trying to do it again later that week. Luckily, she had only come to the house while we were at school, so we were safe. But it still unnerved us, and we had to be with an adult anytime we went outside. I don't remember how much time passed between those incidents and this next one, but it couldn't have been more than a month. It was a Saturday night, and both of my siblings were staying at friends' houses, so it was just me and my mom for the night. I decided to stay up and watch movies in the living room on the big TV while my mom went to bed. Around 2 or 3, I heard a noise outside, so I shut off my movie. It sounded like someone was coming up the gravel driveway. Music was blaring, but I hadn't connected it to what had happened earlier. I was on high alert at this point, but I assumed I was just being paranoid. But then, someone started walking up to the front door. They stopped by the big bay window next to the door that faces into our living room. I looked up, and in the space of the curtains that weren't fully closed, there was a face peering in at me through the window. They were backlit, so it was hard to see any details. But what I could see clearly was that they had glasses, short hair, and they had their hands cupped on the glass to see in. Based off those details, I assumed it was my sister. She had short hair and glasses. So I texted her asking if that was her outside and if I needed to unlock the door. I sent the text and I got up to open it for her. But the closer I got to the door, I started hearing the handle shake and the doorbell ring and repeated knocking. I hesitated for a second, and the second I put my hand on the doorknob, I got a text from my sister, "No, I'm staying at my friend's house." And that's when all the alarm bells started going off in my head. I have no clue who this person is. I'm home alone with my mom, who's fast asleep, and I almost opened the door. I immediately ran to my mom's room and started yelling for her to come out and that somebody was at the door trying to come in. She came to the front door as fast as she could, but by the time we both made it back to the door, they were gone. We still don't know for sure if it was the same girl, but it's the only thing that would make sense. That shit rocked me to my core. I was shaking for hours afterwards. But the scariest part by far was that they made no noise the whole time, just jiggling the handle, ringing the doorbell, and knocking on the door. Anyways, the last thing I heard about the ex-girlfriend was that a few years later, she blew off one of her hands with a firework on the 4th of July because she was on drugs. Don't do drugs. And to my dad's ex-girlfriend, let's never meet again. Why was she trying to kidnap your brother? Like, I guess it makes the most sense because your brother was the only person still in contact with your dad, or like still like kind of living with your dad. So it kind of makes sense, but like, why was she trying to kidnap her? Like, I'm so confused. Was she trying to like get your dad to like talk to her? And if she was like, I have your child, I guess he would kind of have to talk to her. I don't know, but that'd be just crazy, crazy. It's also like really weird how every time she came to the house, he wasn't home. Like, even the last time, I know you were there, so it's like, I know you probably felt very unsafe, or I know for a fact you felt unsafe, but it's crazy that he was never there. Like, how lucky is that? Not that she was like able to get in ever, or like even had the opportunity to take him, whatever. But it's just crazy that he was never there. Like, she was coming at the worst time. She's really bad at kidnapping people. That is all I'm gonna read for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other stories you want to share with me or the community, I will have my subreddit link down below. And I wanted to say really quickly one more time, if you wanted to check out Ana Luisa, I will have my code down below for up to 40% off. But I love you guys. I am sweating really bad and I need to change my shirt, so I'm gonna go. But I love you. I will see you in the next one. Bye. I forgot I have to talk here and I'm sweating really bad. I don't even think I have anything to say. Okay, I do. I was looking at kittens. I'm not gonna get a cat. I'm not gonna get another one. Like, I promise. And I know I said that with every single cat I've ever gotten. Like, I promise I'm not gonna get another, but I promise this time. I'm like, pinky swear, I promise I will not get another cat. But I was looking and I found one named Toothless who looks just like the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, I've never seen it. But he looked just like him and he was so cute. He's a little black cat and I want him so bad, but I'm not gonna get him. I'm not, I promise I'm not. I don't need another cat. Like, literally my cats have been like a little crazy recently. I think it's because I left them for like a little bit over a week, so they've been super needy and super cuddly and all that stuff, and I'm like, I don't think I could give that much attention to another cat. Like, this takes up my whole day. My whole day is these cats. So I'm not gonna get another one because there's no reason for me to. There's no reason. Why? I have 3. Why do I need, I don't need them. I don't need, but I was looking and I really want him, but I'm not gonna get him. That's all I have to say. But I'm gonna go, and I'm not gonna get a cat. I love you. See ya!